Hi students, I am Shaileyee welcoming you to the Medical and Pharmacy Crash Course Division in the Knowledge Club online. Students, today I have come with an episode in the Medical and Pharmacy Crash Course Division, the quick revision of cell structure and functions chapter. This questions answer session will help you ready for any kind of competitive exam or medical exam. I divided the quick revision of cell structure and function chapter in 3 parts for making the short episodes. This is part 3, the last episode of this chapter. I discussed 80 suggestive terms in the previous episodes. These terms are very important for your exams. Today I have come with another 40 important terms in the cell structure and function chapter. Total made with 120 important terms. So revise it thoroughly. Maximum terms are decorated in alphabetically for easy to memorize the terms. These episodes help you to revise, consolidate and polish your knowledge and skills. Also help you to develop in-depth understanding of the subject, assess and review knowledge. Suggestions contained in these types of episodes have been designed to be similar in the pattern used in JEE Medical, NEET, CSIR NET, GRD, DBT, GRF, ICMR, GATE, GPAT, JMU PhD, JU PhD, IAS and so on medical exams and pharmacy semester exams, and also it will help for WBCS Prelims and IAS Prelims also. For the sake of better self-assessment as well as a thorough and comprehensive understanding of the subject, I have kept it topic or chapter wise. Stay tuned up to end. If you skip, you can miss a valuable points for your exam. So stay tuned up to end. I am going to start today's episode. Let's start. Today's first point is the organelle. Organelle means any of the several different types of membrane enclosed specialized structures in the cell that perform specific functions for the cell. That is called organelle. Point number 2, the osmosis. Diffusion of molecules down their concentration across a selectively permeable membrane. Osmosis, diffusion of molecule down their concentration across a selectively permeable membrane. Point number 3, passive transport. Form of transport across the cell membrane that does not require input of cellular energy, means ATP not required for passive transport. Point number 4, peroxisome. Membrane-bound organelle that contains enzymes primarily responsible for detoxifying harmful substances. Point number 5, phagocytosis. Endocytosis of large particles, the solid particles. It's called the phagocytosis. Point number 6, pinocytosis. Endocytosis of fluid, the liquid material. Point number 7, pluripotent. Describes the condition of being able to differentiate into a large variety of cell types. Point number 8, polypeptide. Chain of amino acids linked by peptide bonds. It may be 2, 3, 4, 5. It's called the polypeptide. Point number 9, the polyribosome. The simultaneous translation of a single mRNA transcript by multiple ribosomes. It's using the multiple ribosomes for called the polyribosomes. Point number 10, the promoter. The region of DNA that signals transcription to begin at that site within the gene. Point number 11, prophase. First stage of mitosis and meiosis, characterized by breakdown of the nuclear envelope and condensing of the chromatin to form chromosomes. Point number 12. Proteome. Full complement of proteins produced by a cell determined by the cell specific gene expression is called the proteome. Point number 13. RNA polymerase. Enzyme that unwinds DNA and then adds new nucleotides to growing strand of RNA for the transcription phase of protein synthesis. RNA polymerase, it's different type of RNA polymerase present, that is RNA polymerase 1, RNA polymerase 2. Point number 14. Reactive oxygen species, ROS. A group of extremely reactive peroxides and oxygen containing radicals that may contribute to cellular damage. Point number 15. Receptor mediated endocytosis. Endocytosis of ligands attached to membrane bound receptors. It's called the receptor mediated endocytosis. 16. Receptor. The protein molecule that contains a binding site for another specific molecule, that's called a ligand. 17. Ribosomal RNA, rRNA. RNA that makes up the subunits of a ribosome. 18. Ribosome, the cellular organelle that functions in protein synthesis. 19. S phase, stage of the cell cycle during which DNA replication occurs. Point number 20. Selective permeability. Features of any barrier that allows certain substances to cross but excludes others. The plasma membrane have the selective permeability, that is, it allows certain substances to cross but not others. Point number 21. Sister chromatid, one of the pair of identical chromosomes found during DNA replication. Point number 22. Sodium potassium pump. It's also called the sodium potassium ATPase, membrane embedded protein pump that uses ATP to move sodium out of a cell and potassium into the cell. 23. Somatic cell. All cells of the body excluding gamete cells called the somatic cell. 24. Spliceosome. Complex of enzymes that serves to splice out the introns of a pre-mRNA transcript. It's called spliceosome. 25. Splicing, the process of modifying a pre-mRNA transcript by removing certain typically non-coding regions. It's called the splicing, the process of modifying a pre-mRNA transcript by removing certain typically non-coding regions. 26. Stem cell, cell that is oligo, multi or pluripotent, that has the ability to produce additional stem cells rather than becoming further specialized. 27. Telophase, final stage of mitosis or meiosis, producing cytokinesis characterized by the formation of two new daughter nuclei. 28. Totipotent, embryonic cells that have the ability to differentiate into any type of cell and organ in the body. 29. Transcription factor, one of the proteins that regulate the transcription of genes. Transcription factor. Point number 30. Transcription, process of producing an mRNA molecule that is complementary to a particular gene of DNA. Point number 31. The transfer RNA, the tRNA, molecules of RNA that serve to bring amino acids to a growing polypeptide strands and properly place them into the sequence. It's called the transfer RNA or tRNA. Point number 32, translation. Process of producing a protein from the nucleotide sequence code of an mRNA transcript. Point number 33, triplet. Consecutive sequence of 3 nucleotides on a DNA molecule that, when transcribed into an mRNA codon, corresponds to a particular amino acid. It's called the triplet. 3 nucleotides on a DNA molecule. Point number 34. Unipotent describes the condition of being committed to a single specialized cell type. Point number 35. Vesicle. Membrane-bound structure that contains materials within or outside of the cell. Point number 36. MPF. The maturation promoting factor. It's called the MPF. Also called mitosis promoting factor or M phase promoting factor, is the cyclin CDK complex that was discovered first in frog eggs. It stimulates the mitotic and meiotic phases of the cell cycle. MPF promotes the entrance into mitosis, the M phase, from the G2 phase by phosphorylating multiple proteins needed during mitosis. MPF is activated at the end of G2 by a phosphatase, which removes an inhibitory phosphate group added earlier. Point number 37, peripheral protein. Membrane-associated protein that does not span the width of the lipid bilayer but is attached primarily to integral proteins, membrane lipids, or other components of the membrane. Point number 38, APC, anaphase promoting factor, also called the cyclosome or APC/C, is an E3 ubiquitin ligase that marks target cell cycle proteins for degradation by the 26S proteasome. The APC-C is a large complex of 11 to 13 subunit proteins, including a choline APC2 and ring APC11 subunit, much like SCF. Point number 39, RB, retinoblastoma gene. Our epidemiological and genetic analysis of sporadic and familial retinoblastoma indicates that an X chromosome linked gene is involved in the genesis of a significant fraction of new bilateral cases of the disease. The activity of this gene results in sex ratio distortion in favor of males among patients with bilateral sporadic disease. Point number 40, the NF, the necrosis factor. It's also called the tumor necrosis factor, TNF, is a substance produced by cells in your immune system that has many effects in promoting the inflammatory process. It is produced chiefly by macrophages, a type of white blood cell, but can be produced by other cells as well. That is called the necrosis factor. So guys, hope you enjoyed today's important term session and increased your knowledge more on cell structure and functions. I am coming with another revision session on another chapter in the next episode, which also will be help you to flourish your knowledge more. If you like this video, please like, share and comments freely. Don't forget to subscribe our channel. If you already subscribed, then thanks a lot. After subscribing our channel, please click on the bell button for getting the regular updates. I am coming with another episode very shortly. Till then.